I'd like to call to order the council meeting for Tuesday, April 4th, 2017. If we could all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Secretary, may I please have roll call?
Olivia Brady, Valerie Scott Cooper,
Present.
Hakeem Jones, Heather Lewis,
Here.
Sue Ann Gardner,
Here.
Derek Perry, Sonia Sanders.
Here. Would a member of council like to make a motion to approve the workshop meeting minutes from March 21st, 2017?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Meeting minutes approved. Earlier this evening, council had executive session pertaining to litigation. Do we have any presentations this evening?
Announcements.
Vice President Perry, do we have any announcements this evening?
We have a town hall meeting for Councilwoman Valerie Scott Cooper in the 3rd District invites you Thursday, April 20th, 2017 from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Norristown Library as they discuss the 1529 DeKalb Street project with developer Sarah Peck of Progressive Housing Ventures and the Montgomery Park project, which is the old Montgomery Hospital. We have Universal Copy and Print is 1-year anniversary, which is Friday, May 12th, 2017 from 2 to 4 p.m. It's on 114 East Main Street. For anyone who wants to now see Norristown's annual report, which is our fiscal year ending December 31st, you can get that now online at norristown.org. And we have the Norristown Police Foundation presents Help K-9 Officer Jerry Jett, a jitney, Saturday, May 13th from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Norristown Manor Corps Club Pavilion. Admission is $20 for adults, 15 and under, free admission, and entitles you to 1 food ticket and 3 beverage tickets. They'll have live music, raffle, police exhibits, K-9 demonstration, community tables. Tickets can be purchased at the Norristown Police Department or Norristown Manor Corps Club, or at Sean Cullen's office on 40 East Main Street in Norristown. And then we also have 3 vacancies on the Special and Cultural Events Committee. Applicants can email their resume and letter of interest to the Office of the Municipal Administrator. And anyone else have anything else? Councilwoman Gardner.
I just want to mention this weekend, Coffee with a Cop, Saturday morning, 10:30 to 12:30 down at the Little League Fields. And also Saturday from 11 to 1 is the Easter parade, gathering, whatever you want to call it, at the band shell with an Easter egg hunt. Like I said, it starts at 11. Easter egg hunts begin at 12, depending on the ages. And the ages go from basically toddlers on up to 12 years old.
Thank you, Vice President Perry. Madam Secretary, do we have any public comments this evening?
Yes. Jamie Arthur. Jamie Arthur. Charles Ernest.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I have a couple of questions about 1529 DeKalb Street and the Progressive Home or Housing Ventures proposed development project there. First, I would like to ask one other thing. The zoning hearing board, when the notices go out for a meeting that is canceled and a new meeting needs to be rescheduled, is that something that goes through the planning department? Like, for example, the January 26, 2016 meeting?
Yes. It goes to the planning department.
So all members of the zoning hearing board are notified that there's a new meeting date?
Yes.
Okay. Because I can't find a record of one of the members ever having attended, any of the meetings after he was elected or, appointed to sit in January. It makes it, from everything that's been published, it says that 2 members resigned, and that's the reason there wasn't a quorum. As far as I can tell, there were no members that resigned from the zoning hearing board before any meeting at the beginning of 2016 or at the end of 2015. So I'm just curious, at some point if somebody could figure out where that information came from and, whether all zoning hearing board members were alerted that there was a meeting. Those were for the proposed variances at 1529 DeKalb. They were deemed approved, and since then it seems, nothing has really been done in the last year. It's been recently pointed out that, a person can go through all the minutes, and see all the time Sarah Peck has been in front of this council asking for funding, and other things. And, it was pointed out that Norristown residents should be more proactive instead of reactive about their community. I'm just curious when those meetings took place, because I have all the meeting minutes from 2016, and she's listed on 2 agendas, I believe, one of which was about reduction in sewer tapping fees. So when people comment online saying, that my information is incorrect, and to check the minutes, I do have the minutes. The information is correct. The resolution for 16144 that reduced the sewer tapping fees in September of 2016 is 1529 DeKalb Street, the proposed project, eligible for that 50% reduction fee.
So what it sounds like, Mr. Ernest, is one, you're going to need to speak to your council representative, and 2, if my peers could let me know what date it is that Sarah Peck is actually having the meeting for 1529 DeKalb Street.
April 20th?
So 1, it sounds like you would get more information from your council representative, and 2, I would suggest that you do attend the meeting with Sarah Peck in regards to 1529 DeKalb Street.
I did email my council representative about my concerns, and I did not ever hear back. Eventually, though, 2 days later, I did receive an email from Sarah Peck saying that she had heard about my concerns from various sources and would be more than happy to meet with me. Previous to that occasion, she didn't have my email address. So I'm a little bit, leery of putting my concerns out there, because it seems that as soon as I do, she immediately finds out about them. I raised concerns about the way she went about her grant funding, and the information I requested was eventually provided. However, it wasn't emailed to me or anything. I only happened to get it because I came to Municipal Hall on another matter. And they were like, oh, by the way, we happen to have this for you. So, I have been raising concerns. I, have been to planning on multiple occasions to ask to see any type of plans, if there's any type of information. I'm repeatedly told that there was nothing there. I'm doing my best here to provide information for residents of my neighborhood and community where these 34 townhomes are going to be built. To date, I have not been able to get any concrete information about it. People keep saying that she's been here. I don't see a record of it. She's asked for funding. I don't see a record of it. I see her asking for a reduction in sewer fees. I see then eventually a resolution's passed reducing sewer fees, similar to when she asked for a 44% reduction in inspection fees for Arbor Muse, which was then later granted. Municipal Administrator Jones told me in a meeting that we had on March 10th, that it was, perfectly normal for developers to, to ask for those types of things. That happens all the time. In all of 2016, I do not see another instance in the minutes where another developer has asked for those same things. Every request that she has made has eventually been approved by this council. We're repeatedly told that residents have the right to come to the meeting. Our concerns, should be expressed. I'm here expressing my concerns, and I'm being told, oh no, contact the councilwoman. There's a meeting being held. That meeting, maybe planning will the proposed plan be in front of the Planning Commission before the April 20th meeting?
Yes.
So if everything's okay, you can make your recommendation to council prior to the town hall meeting.
That's a separate process. You're going to receive an invitation to the meetings that are going to be held for the Planning Commission, for the Design Review Board, as well as the 2 meetings that council will hold on that very subject.
Right. But you'll be able to make your recommendation, you'll make your recommendation to council before any of that happens, correct?
What recommendation are you speaking of? I'm not sure I understand you.
The recommendation whether to approve or disapprove the proposed development.
What we do as a planning department is make sure that whatever is required through the land development process in terms of ordinances, that they're advertised correctly, that the neighborhood is notified, that the applicant is able to come in front of the Planning Commission, as well as the Design Review Board, and to council, and we make our recommendation, yes.
Right. Will that recommendation come before the town hall meeting on April 20th?
Not all the meetings will be, we'll be able to make a recommendation, I think, on the 18th.
On the 18th. So,
yes.
So before the town hall meeting. So in other words, residents won't have a chance for any input in this process until after recommendation has already,
yes, they will.
A decision's already come.
Yes, they will. They'll have an opportunity at the Planning Commission meeting. They'll have an opportunity at the Design Review Board meeting. They'll have an opportunity even at the 18th meeting, because council does not necessarily make a decision then. It's just a recommendation, and it's up to council to make a decision then or 2 weeks after.
Right. And now, is any of her research on groundwater recharging, on storm, sewer?
It sounds like, excuse me.
Is any of that stuff available to the public?
It is available to public. Okay. The engineer is reviewing it. It is public. You can speak to the engineer.
So when I was in the office, on the day she submitted the application, asked about it, and, made it sound, I was told, oh, yeah, it's going to go in front of planning. But I've been asking to see the plans, and I'm continually told there's nothing to see. And then when I'm there on the day that she submitted them, asking to see the plans, it was left out that, that is public information.
It is public information, but the planning department has 5 days to review that plan to make sure that it meets all the requirements prior to making it public, in case we have to go back to the applicant to say, hey, you have a zoning issue, or you have this issue or the other issue. So it's incomplete until we've done our 5-day review.
Okay. And I can understand that and respect that. That's fine.
Excuse me, Mr. Ernest, at this time, what I would do is I would like to see you after the meeting, if you plan on staying after the meeting, and we could follow up with your other questions and other concerns at this time.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Jamie Arthur.
Good evening, Madam President.
Good evening.
Council members and the public. I'm here on behalf of a friend of mine, Judge Horace Davenport. As you should know, I believe that he passed recently, and he was the first African-American judge here in Montgomery County. And I have tried for the last 3 years, I've asked if I could get a mural placed on a building that I have on Sweet Street, which is located 1 block away from the courthouse. My building's at 706 Sweet Street. I wanted to put a mural with the judge and his wife. I'd like to pass it around so the council people can see it, if that's okay. So you can see what I'm talking about. If that's all right, is it okay?
Yes.
He's been an icon in our community for quite some time. And so I think that it would be an honor to the family and to the judge for all that he's done and all that he's accomplished here in Norristown to have a mural placed. I would really like a mural to be placed down at the courthouse or on the courthouse grounds, but I have nothing to do with that property. I'm willing to use my property for the mural. I have contacted the Mural Arts Society of Philadelphia, which there was 2 painters that said that they would do it, but I'm not sure about the details and what goes on with doing something of this nature. I would just like you to consider it and just let me know what you think. I think the picture is an appropriate picture. It's him and his wife on the courthouse steps. I've been knowing the judge since I was a child. He was a lawyer for my family, and I just know that he's made a difference in my life. And I'm sure he's made a difference in a lot of others also. So thank you for hearing me. Please let me know what you decide if you have the power to make that decision.
So one, I'd like to say thank you, Ms. Arthur, and 2, I would request that you speak to Ms. Musanye in regards to the stipulations in regards to the sizes of the mural, and they would have to be approved prior to a mural being placed.
That's it.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, do we have any communication this evening?
No, we don't.
Thank you. First order of business we have is Municipal Council, Resolution 17-123 for the board and committee appointments. Mr. Jones, could you please handle that?
Many people, oh, there it is, okay. Thank you, Madam President. What you have before you, Council, is Resolution 17-123 of 2017, whereas the Council of Norristown is desirous of appointing qualified members to serve on Norristown Citizens Advisory Boards, committees, and commissions. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Municipal Council of Norristown appoints the ensuing residents to the following advisory boards and/or committees. And we have 2 members, 2 citizens who are being considered for your appointment for the Special and Cultural Events Committee. The first is Savannah Weldon with a term expiring December 31st, 2017. The second one is Betty Lewis with the term expiring December 31st, 2018. So that is the resolution before Council for your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Any questions or concerns? Councilwoman Lewis.
Did you sign it? No, okay, can't see. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just want to make it public notice that both Savannah Weldon and Betty Lewis are family members of mine. So if I need to recuse myself in the voting process, I'm okay with that.
Councilwoman Lewis, if they are family members of yours, the definition of are they brothers or sisters, are they children, or are they a husband and wife? That's essentially the definition of family under the State Ethics Act.
Betty Lewis is my mother, and Savannah Weldon is my niece.
So with your mother, you should definitely recuse yourself. Your niece, that's up to you. When you recuse yourself under the State Ethics Act, Madam Councilwoman, what I suggest you do is you've stated the reasons for your recusal now. You're also to hand a handwritten note to Mr. Jones, after the meeting, explain the reason for your recusal.
Understood.
Thank you, Mr. Solicitor. Would a member of council like to make a motion to approve Resolution 17-123?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Roll call. Madam Secretary, may we please have roll call?
Olivia Brady. Valerie Scott Cooper. Hakeem Jones. Sue Ann Gardner. Derek Perry. Sonia Sanders.
Aye. The ayes have it. Resolution 17-123 is approved. Next order of business we have is from the municipal administrator. A being the ratification of the snow declarations.
Thank you, Madam President. As you know, both in February and March, on February 9th through 13th and March 13th through 15th, we made snow declarations, emergency snow declarations based on weather reports that we continue to get up until time to go live. As a matter of standard routine, we issued those declarations. Council has signed the ratification documents, and this is just a request that Council vote on those, ratifying those two declarations. In the very remote event that there is a declaration of a disaster, that we could then be eligible to get reimbursed for any expenses that we had, as we did last year with the blizzard of 2016.
Any questions or concerns? Mr. Jones, is that a resolution?
Just a request to vote, not a resolution.
Thank you. Would a member of council like to make a motion to ratify the municipal snow declarations that were issued in February and March of 2017 in order to submit them to the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Hearing none, the ayes have it, and that motion is approved.
Thank you, Madam President. Second order of business, as you know, at the March 21st work session, Expressive Pass food truck Expressive Pass organization came before council requesting a waiver of the food truck ordinance so that they could allow food trucks at their September festival, September 10th, 2017, and they would like to be able to use food trucks as a means of fundraising for their annual event. And we are bringing before you that question as was designated, and ask council's consideration to vote yes or no to allow food trucks for that day at Elmwood Park.
Any questions? Councilwoman Gardner?
My microphone never works. I'd just like to recuse myself from a vote tonight for because of my position on the Expressive Path board.
Thank you, Councilwoman Gardner.
Sure.
Councilman Jones.
We recently had an RFP for food truck vendors. Provided she's approved for the food truck, are those vendors going to be the same vendors who applied for the ability, or is this going to be something that's open to any food truck vendor in the vicinity?
That's separate.
That's actually a separate matter. So in terms of the vendors that she would have, we certainly would be working with them to make sure, hopefully, that there are local vendors that would be used, but it would be open to non-local vendors as well.
So, Mr. Jones, how would that be advertised?
There's a process we go through in terms of as the event gets close, there's a notice that is sent out and working with the particular agency that says this event is happening. Here's a form to fill out for vendor registration. We have that vendor registration. We evaluate those to make sure that they aren't inappropriate for the event, and then we approve those specific vendors to be out there. We do also limit the number of vendors so that there is no problem with traffic congestion, et cetera.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Any other questions or concerns? Seeing none, would a member of council like to make a motion to request a waiver to allow food trucks at their music festival in Elmwood Park on September 10th, 2017 for Expressive Paths.
Second.
All in favor? Any nays? Seeing none or hearing none, the ayes have it, and that motion is approved. Next order of business we have is public safety. Chief Talbot, you're up.
Are we starting with the handicap parking, or are we going to go with the promotion?
Handicap parking.
Handicap parking. Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome.
Resolution 17121 is a motion to establish parking at 879 Cherry Street and also to remove handicap parking at 747 George Street. The resident at 879 Cherry Street has a medical condition that impacts their mobility, making this concession necessary, and the sign that's currently at 747 George Street is no longer needed.
Thank you, Chief Talbot. Any questions? Would a member of council like to make a motion to establish handicap parking at 879 Cherry Street and the removal of handicap parking at 747 George Street? Madam Secretary, may I please have roll call?
Olivia Brady. Valerie Scott Cooper. Hakeem Jones. Heather Lewis. Sue Ann Gardner. Derek Perry. Sonia Sanders.
Aye. The ayes have it. Resolution number 17-121 is approved. Chief?
All right.
Resolution 17-122.
Yes, ma'am. Resolution 17122 is to promote Officer Tyler North to the rank of Police Corporal. The history is there is a vacancy because of the voluntary resignation of rank by an officer to become a school resource officer. We recently held a promotional exam, and Officer Tyler North was the top ranked candidate. We also did a series of interviews of all the candidates to make a decision about who would be best, and myself and the rest of the command decided that Officer Tyler North is the best candidate for the position, and we're hoping you'll agree and promote him to the rank of Police Corporal.
Yes.
Make a motion for the resolution.
Would a member of council like to make a motion to approve the promotional selection to fill the vacant position of the corporal position?
Second.
Madam Secretary, may I please have roll call?
Olivia Brady. Valerie Scott Cooper.
Aye.
Hakeem Jones. Heather Lewis. Sue Ann Gardner. Derek Perry. Sonia Sanders.
Aye. Resolution number 17-122 is approved. We'll have Judge Hunsicker come up for the swearing-in ceremony.
I, Tyler Norton,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the Home Rule Charter of the Municipality of Norristown,
and the Home Rule Charter of the Municipality of Norristown,
and the laws of Pennsylvania
and the laws of Pennsylvania
and the municipality.
and the municipality.
I will discharge the duties of my office
I will discharge the duties of my office
as police corporal
as police corporal
for the municipality of Norristown
for the municipality of Norristown
with honor and fidelity.
with honor and fidelity.
I will uphold, obey, and enforce
I will uphold, obey, and enforce
the laws of Pennsylvania
the laws of Pennsylvania
and the municipality of Norristown
and the municipality of Norristown
without consideration to a person's race,
without consideration to a person's race,
color,
color,
sex, religious creed, sexual orientation, age, national origin, ancestry, handicap, or disability. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You want to?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks again.
Congrats.
Good night.
Yep. Next order of business we have is the planning and municipal development in regards to zoning ordinance amendment.
Excuse me, Madam Chair. Perhaps the easiest thing to do is perhaps make a motion, or as suggest the council make a motion to open a public hearing.
That would be correct. Would a member of council like to make a motion for a public hearing pertaining to ordinance 17-01 of 2017? All in favor? Aye. The ayes have it. Motion is approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If it's okay with you, may I just begin and go through some procedural matters?
Yes, please.
We have opened a public hearing to amend our zoning ordinance 1701 for a series of changes tonight. I just want to put on the record that we recommend that council at the end of this public hearing, after you close the record for tonight, continue the public hearing to the 18th of April at 6:30 p.m. at 17 East Airy Street at our next hearing. The reason being is there has not been, because of lack of a quorum, there has not been an opportunity for the Norristown Planning Commission to comment on these zoning changes. Because we've gone through the advertising already, we thought the easier way to move forward without require additional advertising and undue cost for the municipality is to hear the testimony tonight, put documents into the record, ask questions, then continue that public hearing to the 18th, open the record then, put in the recommendation of the Planning Commission at that time, see if there were any comments related to that, and then close the public hearing and see if council wanted to take action at that date. So for the record, what I want to do is put some items into the record. Marked as M1, Municipality 1, would be a copy of the ordinance changes. M2 would be a copy of the advertisement of this public hearing in the Norristown Times-Herald, our newspaper of general circulation. M3 would be the comments of the Montgomery County Planning Commission related to this. I believe Ms. Massagne wanted to give a brief explanation of what these changes were, then allow for council questions or comment, and then see if there was any public comment on these issues.
Thank you, Mr. Solicitor. As a matter of history of this ordinance, I just want to read this into the record, that Council was desirous of addressing zoning issues involving medical marijuana growers, processors, and dispensaries. the Planning Department identified additional zoning issues that needed to be addressed involving definition of financial institutions and the design standards in commercial zoning districts. The proposed changes were provided for in Ordinance 17-01 of 2017, prepared by the Municipal Solicitor's Office and presented for consideration by the Department of Planning and Municipal Development. On February 21st, Council authorized the advertisement of a public hearing to consider adoption of Ordinance 17-01 of 2017. And a public hearing for April 4th was advertised on March 13th, 20th, and the 27th. These are the facts and issues. The effective date for Act 16 of 2016, the Medical Marijuana Act, is May 17, 2016, which provides for the legal processing and dispensing of marijuana in the state of Pennsylvania for medical purposes. Zoning Chapter 320 of the Code of the Municipality of Norristown does not provide for medical marijuana processes or dispensaries, and Council is desirous of doing so. Zoning Chapter 320 of Code of the Municipality of Norristown does not provide a definition for a financial institution, and Ordinance 17-01 of 2017 as proposed provides a definition for the financial institution. The zoning chapter does not provide for design review board reviews for design standards for certain uses within the CR commercial retail zoning district. Therefore, Ordinance 17-01 of 2017 as proposed provides for design review board reviews in the CR commercial retail zoning district. Ordinance 17-01 of 2017 as proposed was provided to the Montgomery County Planning Commission on March 3rd, 2017. The same ordinance was placed on the March 14th, 2017 agenda of the Norristown Planning Commission, but the meeting was canceled due to snow. And Ordinance 1701 of 2017 as proposed was placed on March 20th, 2017 Norristown Planning Commission meeting, rescheduled from the March 14th, 2017. However, it did not have a quorum and a recommendation could not be made. Therefore, we're asking Council to give the Norristown Planning Commission an opportunity to comment on this ordinance prior to it being acted on April 18th. That concludes my brief.
Thank you, Ms. Musanye. Any questions? No questions?
Public comment?
Comments?
So if there were no comments, Madam President, I suggest that you move to close the public hearing and continue it to the 18th at 6:30 p.m. at 17 East Airy Street.
What's the date? Sorry.
The next council meeting, the 18th, at 6:30 p.m., 17 East Airy Street.
Okay, thank you.
235 East Airy Street, I apologize. I'm giving you my law office, I apologize. You can have the hearing there, 235 East Airy Street. There you go.
Would a member of the council like to close the agenda for the public comment? In addition to the meeting, the next scheduled meeting, the council meeting we decided was the 18th of April.
At 6:30 p.m. at 235 East Airy Street. And that's when this hearing will be continued to, and there will be additional public comment and hopefully a recommendation from the Norristown Planning Commission at that time.
Thank you, Mr. Solicitor. Madam Secretary, may I please have roll call?
Yes. Olivia Brady, Valerie Scott Cooper, Hakeem Jones, Heather Lewis, Sue Ann Gardner, Derek Perry, Sonia Sanders.
Aye. And that resolution passes.
There was no resolution.
Sorry.
It was just merely the closing of the public hearing.
Sorry, closing of the public hearing. Yep. Next order of business we have is code enforcement. Mr. Simonson.
Thank you, Madam President. Ordinance 17-04 of 2017, amending chapters 120 and 251 of the Municipal Code. Ordinance 17-04 amends the Norristown Municipal Code to retitle Chapter 120 as building permits to provide for enforcement of Chapter 120, amend the penalties for violations of Chapter 120, providing an enforcement provision in 251, and repealing any inconsistent ordinances. To summarize the ordinance that is proposed, we are going to clean up some of the language that's in Chapter 120 and 251 because it is already covered under the Chapter 320, which is the Norristown zoning code. And the penalty phase is an increase and more severe penalty for contractors working without permits. It's a escalating fee. It's $500 for the first year, $1,000 for the $500 for the first offense, $1,000 for the second offense, and $1,000 plus a 1-year suspension for the third time a contractor is caught without a license or without a permit.
Thank you, Mr. Simonson. Any questions? Concerns? Would a member of council like to make a motion to amend the Norristown Municipal Code to retitle Chapter 120 as building permits, to provide for enforcement of Chapter 120, amend the penalties for violations of Chapter 120, providing an enforcement provision in Chapter 251, and repealing any inconsistent ordinances? Madam Secretary, may I please have roll call?
Olivia Brady, Valerie Scott Cooper, Hakeem Jones, Heather Lewis, Sue Ann Gardner, Derek Perry, Sonia Sanders.
Aye. The ayes have it, and that ordinance is passed. Item B, Mr. Simonson, in regards to HARB certificates.
Item B is the HARB certificates, or Historical Architectural Review Board certificates of appropriateness for February of 2017. 238 East Jacoby Street is for exterior woodwork. 125 Pearl Street is to replace windows. 216 Noble Street is also to replace windows. 122 East Main Street is to reface brick walls and chimney. 1038 West Erie is to repair a facade. 637 Haas Ave is to replace a front porch. And 639 Haas Ave is also to replace a front porch.
Thank you, Mr. Simonson. Would a member of council like to make a motion to approve the the certificates of HARB for the properties that were applied for the review board? I'm sorry. Councilwoman Brady?
The properties on Hawes Avenue, my understanding that until they got their certificate of appropriateness, they were not issued permits to do the work.
That is, in February, because of the way the meeting fell, it didn't make the March cutoff for the things, for the agenda, so we may have issued the permits conditionally upon this approval.
I noticed that the pillars in the front of both of those properties have been replaced, where I suppose we going to this person in the packet, the pillars that were approved by the department.
Correct. Because of the date of the meeting, it didn't make the requirements to have the on the agenda in time. So that's why there's 2 on this month.
Okay.
Yep.
And I do believe we left with a motion on the floor. All in favor? Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. That motion is approved. Item C, Mr. Simonson.
And item C is the Historical Architectural Review Board Certificate of Appropriateness for March of 2017. 114 West Marshall Street is to replace a facade and stairs. 714 Cone Street is to replace windows. And 30 East Elm Street is to replace facade and also to replace windows.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, would a member of council like to make a motion to approve? Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Hearing none, the ayes have it. That motion is approved. Would a member of council like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Madam President, I believe we had one other item to open the agenda on, the assessment appeal.
That is correct. Thank you, Mr. Solicitor. Would a member of council like to make a motion to open the agenda for the assessment appeal of 701 DeKalb Street. All in favor? The ayes have it.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just so council and the public understands, when an assessment appeal goes through, the litigation is handled by the Norristown Area School District and the law offices of Rudolph Clark. The reason being is the school district has the biggest share of the taxes, and our position, as well as the county's, often mirrors the school district. This is related to 701 DeKalb Street, and it is going to result in substantial tax increase or tax assessment increase for this property. So this goes back to a 2012 appeal. In 2012, the property had been originally assessed at $691,000. It's going to now go up to $1,040,000. In 2013, similarly, the property had been assessed at $691,000. Now it's going to go up to $1,178,000. In 2014, the property had been assessed at $691,000. It's now going to go up to $1,394,800. In 2015, the property had been assessed at $691,000 and is now going to go up to $1,265,000. In 2016, it's going to go up. It's going to be the same assessment at $691,000. It's going to go up to $1,517,000. And for 2017, the assessment is $691,000. It's going to go to $1,514,000. So basically, the school district has already ratified this. It was forwarded to me by the school district solicitor, and am now asking, and I see it was signed by Matt Rivera, the vice president of the school district, and now asking council to go ahead and take action by a motion to approve this settlement.
Any comments? Questions? Would a member of council like to make a motion to approve the assessment appeal settlement related to 701 DeKalb Street? All in favor? Any nays? Hearing none, the ayes have it. That motion is approved. Will a member of council like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting? All in favor? The ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned.